I got to the point where I didn't recognize myself and I didn't like who I was becoming. My mental health was taking a huge toll. I was just like riddled with stress, anxiety, depression. And if I don't stop drinking like this now, I will kill myself or I will kill someone else. Mm-hmm. And I can't continue. And I came up on 30 days and I was like, I don't feel mentally ready to get back to it. I'm going to do another 30. Then I hit my 90-day mark and I was like, I think this is what I need to do and continue to do. And now I'm coming up on 2 years and I can't even really fathom ever drinking
That's
again.
So amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Kristen. I'm joined here today with Johanna. Part of your social media journey that I found to be really inspiring, I know you said we could talk about this, is the journey that you've had through sobriety. So do you want to kind of just talk about how that started?
I mean, I've always been the party girl. For me, it was a social lubricant. I liked the way that it made me feel or it made me not feel. And in the last handful of years, I could just feel myself slipping. And I got to the point where I didn't recognize myself and I didn't like who I was becoming. Anxiety, depression, and when those feelings would arise, I would drink. And for me, it was never really just like a glass. It was the bottle.
Do you feel like you no longer have that stress and the anxiety and everything that you had when you were drinking? Do you think that some of the drinking caused that stress and anxiety?
I think my drinking put me in situations where, I was doing and saying stuff that sober me would never do or say.
It's the worst feeling in the world, yeah.
It's the worst feeling in the world. And I was destroying relationships in my life, and that pattern was happening at a more frequent rate that it really forced me to kind of stop and reflect. And what happens in sobriety is those feelings are still there. I still have my bouts of depression and anxiety and whatever, but I'm not drowning them anymore, and I'm forced to deal with it head on. So I'm learning different coping mechanisms and I'm learning how to feel, really. I mean, alcohol is a depressant. To fuel depression with a depressant, stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And
counterintuitive.
I'm already an anxious person, so anxiety is probably the worst feeling in the entire world. And you're like, what did I say?
Oh my God.
What did I do?
I never drank until my May maybe of my senior year of high school. I had never had a drink because honestly, I watched one of my family members just be a total idiot when he was drunk all the time. And I was like, I never want to look like that or act like that or slur my words like that. But then it was kind of it was just what everybody did when they were graduating high school. Everyone partied from then until you went to college. So it was either join in or you're going to be so bored at these parties or not invited,
Or not invited.
And so then I didn't know how to drink. So I would be sipping on a bottle of Captain Morgan. Terrible idea. But who knew that when they're 17, Yeah. And so many times in college I would black out because I only had a few drinks, but my body didn't. I don't know. Do you I don't know if you adapt eventually to not black out, but
not me.
Yeah, exactly. We're pretty tiny. Yeah. But still, even now, if I have more than 2 drinks, I'll wake up at 3 a.m. with severe anxiety, and I won't be able to get back to bed till 5:30 because I'll be thinking through every single thing I said and be like, did I say anything bad? Did I do anything bad? Was I overreacting to anything? Was I rude to anything? Because it's your mouth stops talking the way that it normally would once you have drinks.
Yeah. And I don't think that a drunk person's words are a sober person's thoughts. I don't think that is true because I know for a fact I've said so many things intoxicated that they're not how I feel. They're not what I really think. And alcohol just made me look like an idiot, bottom line. And, I have goals for myself and I have things that I want to achieve in my business and personal life that I can't picture myself being able to get there with alcohol involved.
Mm-hmm. If you're wasting your time.
Wasting my time.
Yeah.
And a hangover in your 30s, forget it.
Yeah, with kids.
Forget it.
It's the worst.
No.
I literally remember my last hangover was last September. And I remember how bad that felt, and that's why I haven't had one since. Because it's that's almost a year. It's just the worst possible feeling.
It is.
The kids, I'll be just watch several movies. I can't speak to you right now. All I want is a cheeseburger.
Yeah, you can just do whatever you want today because
eat cereal.
I'm going to need a week to recover from this. Basically,
it's so bad.
It's so bad.
God.
It's so bad.
So did you have people that have supported you through this whole sobriety journey?
Yeah, absolutely. My boyfriend's been like a huge support. I have like a dark sense of humor. And one of the first times that we were out in a social setting, I just wanted to mess with him a little bit. And I was like, I think I'm just going to do one shot tonight and that'll be it for me. And he's so like monotone and just like level-headed on a regular basis. And he just looked at me and he was like, probably not. I was like, I know. I just was testing you. I'm not going to. But, I think, again, it goes back to like that vulnerability thing, and that's what creates connections. And I've been really vocal about my sobriety, and it's brought more people into my life that have opened up about their sobriety, or others that are sober curious that are asking me like, well, then how do you deal with like the wind down at the end of the day when you're stressed with kids and you're stressed from work or whatever? And it's made me feel so much more connected to so many people that I wouldn't have otherwise had that conversation or connection with at all. So I've been really supported.
I remember one day you posted about the sobriety. It might have been at your 1 year mark, and there were like 150 comments of people on there being like, I'm jealous. Like, wow, I want to do this. That's inspiring. I've tried 30 days. Like, it was like everyone that we knew that wanted to do it, but it's like none of us knew somebody else had done it that we could do it too, type of thing.
Right. And I think too, like, alcohol's so ingrained in everything. So it's hard to fathom, like, well, okay, so if I go to a show or if I go to a party or I go to a wedding, like, no alcohol, like what? Like, what is that even? How do you have fun without it? And then you look at like mommy drinking culture, which is like so toxic to me. I mean, sober me aside, like the idea that we need to drink to cope with our children.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, they're stressful. They put gray hairs on our head, but like they deserve us to show up 100%. And I don't think we need to drink like mommy's juice and all this stuff to deal with it.
Yeah,
I think there's other ways.
I'm not the type of person, I don't drink like wine at night or anything. I'll like, if we're going out to a party, I'm going to drink like because otherwise I feel like I'm just like the quiet mouse in the corner.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's like, why are you not drinking?
Yes.
But I never am like at night like, ooh, I need a glass of wine. I'd rather just go lay in bed and read a book or something to wind down.
Yeah. There's other ways to do it. And that was the question I got a lot too, was like, how do you wind down? How do you turn it off?
There's
like
a variety of other skills.
There is. There's so many other ways. Trash TV is a good one to just like escape into.
Absolutely.
It's fine. But yeah, I think the drinking culture is really just toxic. And I think like in this country, it's like the forbidden fruit. So you don't know how to drink when you first start out and you way overdo it and drink just straight captains.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that you just being vulnerable with your whole journey through building the business and through your sobriety is just very inspiring. And I think that the audience that you've built, you can tell, like, you know when you can tell when someone just they give their all into their social and into their friends and family, and it gets like repaid to you, People love you for who you are.
I try. It's hard at times, especially because I feel like I have these ebbs and flows, of where I'm at mentally and depending on what's going on with the business or within my personal life. And it can be hard to show up all the time on social. And there's like such a demand for it. You got to show up when you have a business.
Be funny. Be present. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. So it's tough. It is tough. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not the only one that's struggling with stuff. And sometimes like misery loves company. So like I'll put it out there and then people respond and they're like, 100%, I agree. I'm in the same boat right now. Things suck.
Yeah.
We'll get through it.
Absolutely. So your kids now, do they understand mommy owns a business? Do they have any idea of what you do?
They do.
I see Charlie always doing her makeup.
She is such a girly girl. Yeah. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. She wants to like skip summer camp to come and be at Mama's salon for the day. And I'm like, I'm working. She's like, that's okay. I can just sit. I'm like, it's not. How is that fun for you? You're 6. Like 8 hours. Go play. She really loves it. She's said a few times that she wants to do what I do when she gets older. So we'll see. My little guy, he's just along for the ride. He gets it too a little bit, but I hope down the road that they look back and realize kind of what I've done and feel inspired by it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In some degree.
Yeah. I think our kids, they kind of have no idea, but we'll drive by a house and they'll be like, Mom, why was your face on sign? I'm like, how many times have I told you that I sell houses? How many times? Or like, we'll have them get involved with little things like the community outreach stuff that we do. They'll always do that stuff with us. But yeah, they're young.
Yeah.
They understand that like we go to work every day and that's why they can't have fun with us during the day. Yeah. And so they probably hate it, but they'll grow to love it eventually. And hopefully it'll inspire them to, dream big when they grow up and to not just follow what everybody else does.
Absolutely. I think that's why I originally went like the graphic design path, because I mean, in our high school, I feel like it was so ingrained. Like, you go to a 4-year, you find a 9-to-5 office job that's going to give you full benefits. That's success. Mm-hmm. That's where you're going to find happiness. That's where you're going to get like the perfect house with the white picket fence.
That's our parents' generation.
Yeah. And the ironic thing is I did the 2-year graphic design program in high school. Directly across the hall was the cosmetology program. And I remember looking at those girls being like, good luck. Like, you are, be hard. Yeah, you're not going to be successful. Like, good for you. Like, foot in mouth, because now here I am.
Absolutely. You probably like were being pulled there, but didn't know what it was. So you were just frustrated by it.
Yeah, yeah.
How do your parents like what you do? Are they supportive of it?
They are. They're so supportive. But I think in the beginning they were like, you're going to just do makeup? Like, how is that like a feasible career path? Yeah. They didn't understand really. And then when I said I was going to be opening a space on Main Street, specifically when I got street level on Main Street, I think it hit a little bit of like an emotional chord for my parents, because my mom had a business on Main Street when I was in high school. And she had a bookstore and cafe.
That's so cool.
So great. And I feel like ahead of the time, like if it was open now, it would have been a huge success. But unfortunately it wasn't for her. And so, for me to say, I'm going to open a place on Main Street, she was like, did you not see me cry myself to sleep for months? Like, it's tough. Main Street's tough. Brick and mortar's tough. So they were happy for me, but I think they were also really nervous for me as well. I've never really been told what to do my whole life, so I certainly wasn't going to start then.
I know. I'm the type of person, when every single person in my life goes left, I'm like,
yes,
we're going right.
Same.
I can't follow along. It's against who I am, and it probably gives everyone around me anxiety, but I'm like, I just can't.
No, I'm the same way. I just there's more than one way to do something, and I don't want to do that. Being the same as everyone else is like, it gives me like a nervous twitch in my eye. I hate it. I hate it.
Speaking of, when you were saying that your office does Botox, I was laughing to myself because I have like a sty in my eye for whatever reason that I got yesterday. But it feels like I got like Botox right here because I just can't open it all the
Botox.
way.
Yeah. Perfect.
I woke up yesterday and was like, my eye doesn't open all the way. But yeah, I think I've talked about it on maybe a different episode, but I'm pretty sure my parents think that I'm a complete lunatic for what I do, because it's not a 9-to-5 and I don't have a steady paycheck, and I also don't have benefits. I just we get our own health insurance. We have our own life insurance and all that stuff. There's no 401k in real estate. We just have to do it all by ourselves.
Yeah.
But I think now we're at the point where they're probably like, oh, wow, look what she's done. That's admirable. But at the beginning, they were like, ooh, we know the real estate market's good now, but what's it going to be like in a few years?
Right.
We're going to, have no money, but, you got to just try.
It is a totally different world. My dad recently texted me and he was like, how much do you think a wedding photographer costs? Like, such a random text to receive from your dad, by the way. And I was like, I don't know, anywhere from 6, 10, I don't know. It depends on the package, Dad. He's like, really? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't go out for a wedding under X amount now. And I think he didn't realize the numbers of what I do. And he was like, wow, I'm really proud of you. And I was like, well, thanks. I'm not doing this for free.
Yeah, I did it, Dad.
I did do it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate it. And I feel like our audience is just really going to love your story. You're very inspiring. And we'll put your Instagram handle and everything underneath in the show notes so that people can follow along with your journey.
Thanks. It was so fun to be here. Thanks for having me.